I am Takao Maruyama, a Senior Research Fellow at the JICA Ogata Research Institute. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to evidence for the JICA sector strategy. This is a joint research with Kengo Igei, Keio University. Today, one of the major issues in international educational development is the learning crisis. Worldwide, more than 380 million children of primary school age are not attaining minimum proficiency levels in reading and mathematics. The situation is especially severe in sub-Saharan Africa. Over 80% of primary school age children are not mastering the basics of reading and mathematics. Furthermore, the COVID-19 pandemic caused prolonged closure of schools, and this worsened the situation in sub-Saharan Africa. As children develop foundational skills in reading and mathematics in primary education, the learning crisis is depriving them of opportunities to fulfill their potential in their economic and social life. The challenges to improve student learning are multifaceted in low and lower middle income countries. While parents play an important role in supporting their children's learning in primary education, they face difficulties such as a lack of information about their children's academic achievement or their low educational attainment. Teachers bear principal responsibility for improving children's learning. However, they often consider it hard to help students left behind their schools. To address the learning crisis in low and middle-income countries, JICA has developed a sector strategy in education, JICA Global Agenda, and cluster strategies. One of the four clusters in the global agenda is the community-wide collaboration for educational development. As both parents and teachers play a principal role in education, and education is a concern for the local community members, the focus of the cluster strategy of community-wide collaboration is to strengthen their involvement and collaboration to improve children's learning. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to evidence for the cluster strategy. The evidence that I introduce you is from Madagascar. Madagascar is a low-income country in sub-Saharan Africa. As in other countries in the region, the status of the education sector in Madagascar is worrying. The internal efficiency of Madagascar's education system remains low. The repetition rate in primary education has been over 20% over the past 10 years. Approximately 7 out of 10 students drop out of primary education before reaching the last grade of primary education. One of the underlying factors attributable to this low internal efficiency is the poor academic achievement of children. Approximately 80% of students in the last grade of primary education have not reached the minimum proficiency levels of reading and mathematics. In collaboration with the Ministry of Education in Madagascar, JICA developed a package of interventions called PMAQ-TaRL. The objectives of the package correspond to the Step 1, developing the foundational capacity of SMC, and the Step 2, strengthening the capacity of SMC to improve learning in the cluster strategy. The package mainly consists of two components: a component to strengthen the management capacity of the School Management Committee, SMC, and the other to improve the pedagogical skills of teachers and community volunteers in foundational literacy and numeracy. The first component aims to strengthen the capacity of SMC to lead a cycle of joint action plan through the collaboration between the school and the local community using information on student learning. The package also includes training on the pedagogical approach in basic reading and math called Teaching at the Right Level, TaRL. TaRL was developed by Pratham, an Indian non-governmental organization. This study investigated the effectiveness of the package using a randomized control trial, RCT. Among the 22 regions in Madagascar, this study targeted the Maruyama region located in the central part of the country. The educational situation in the region is close to the national average of the country. Among the approximately 1,000 schools in the region, 140 schools were randomly chosen, and half of the schools were randomly assigned to the treatment group and the other to the control group. In the experiment, the grades 3 to 5 students were targeted. This study used the ASEL tool to measure basic reading of the local language in Madagascar, Malagasy. The assessment is conducted by one-on-one interviews, and the assessment starts from the paragraph section. If a student can correctly read it, she moves to the story section. If not, moves to the word section. The basic reading level of students is evaluated by the 5 levels from the beginner, those who cannot read letter, to the story level using the tool. Regarding math, this study used a written math test on the 4 basic operations. The test was composed of 44 items that included the 4 items posed in text. The same assessment tools were used for grade 3 through 5 students. The experiment confirmed that the package significantly improved the foundational literacy and numeracy of grade 3 through 5 students. The package realized extracurricular remedial activities for 3 to 4 months in all the treatment schools, and it improved basic reading and math learning. The volume of students who could read a paragraph or story written in the local language increased by approximately 21 percentage points. Students also improved math learning outcomes in numbers and 4 basic operations by 0.4 standard deviations. Furthermore, the package decreased the repetition rate and increased the passing rate of the primary certification exam. The results demonstrate the power of community-wide support for children in education. Then, how was the impact of learning outcomes in foundational literacy and numeracy realized? The interventions in PMAQ-TaRL are provided by the 3 stages. First, school principals participate in the one-day training pertaining to the democratic establishment of the SMC. They learned how to organize community general assemblies in coordination with the village authorities and conduct a secret ballot to elect the permanent office members of the SMC, a president and a treasurer. While there are several methods of selection, such as designation or lottery, a secret ballot is employed in the package to elect the permanent office members who are motivated and capable of leading the activities to improve local education. Second, democratically elected SMC executive members participate in a 2-day training on the school action plan and resource management. The plan lists joint activities of the school and the local community to improve education. In training, the participants learn how to organize assessment in basic reading and math. The participants are also trained to facilitate the discussions in the assembly to identify major problems related to student learning, namely inadequate learning time, lack of suitable learning material and environment, and low quality of teaching and learning practices. Third, after the school action plan is adopted in the Community General Assembly, teachers and community volunteers participate in the training on the pedagogical approach for basic reading and numbers and the 4 basic operations called TaRL. Community volunteers are some of the parents and the community members who can voluntarily support the remedial activities. In the experiment, math workbooks developed by JICA were additionally provided to strengthen students' practice of solving math problems in remedial activities. The flow of interventions in PMAQ-TaRL is sequenced in a way that the capacity of the school and the local community is strengthened stepwise to organize joint action for student learning. This study investigated the impact of the package of interventions called PMAQ-TaRL on learning outcomes in basic reading and math using an RCT. The package strengthened the capacity of the school and local community to realize the extracurricular remedial activities using TaRL stepwise. The package then improved learning outcomes in basic reading and math in all the targeted grades, grade 3 through 5. PMAQ-TaRL is an option for an effective strategy to address the learning crisis in sub-Saharan Africa. And the package is also designed to be scalable. We have continuously conducted 2 more studies in Madagascar to investigate the impact of scaling up PMAQ-TaRL. If you are interested in the package of interventions, please visit the URLs in the slide. Thank you.